right, over here on the right side spawn of Metropolis. What's wrong, Kevin?
No, go ahead.
We're switching because
please.
I took yours.
No, go ahead. No, do it.
That's why I wanted you
ahead.
to intro for Game 6.
Yeah, and you introed Game 5, so no. No, please, by all means.
I'm so confused. I'm bad. I can't keep track anymore.
Go ahead.
No more. All right. We've got at least 2 more games too, so this is going to happen at least one more time, I'm sure. d.BlinG is going to be playing as the blue Protoss on the right side of Metropolis, and in for Empire now is their Protoss player, Mista, as the red one here. On the
all right. Yes,
over
those
there.
are things.
The place we're looking
It's
right
a PvP on Metropolis now, and I don't even know where to go from here now. You got me all frazzled.
Oh, frazzled?
Yes.
Isn't that like a description for hair?
Probably. Think of Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, I suppose.
So
kind of frazzly hair.
You're like a science teacher?
Frizzle frazzle.
You're like a middle-aged, redheaded science teacher now?
Yes.
For elementary school?
Yes.
You have a bus that flies.
It's true.
And shrinks and goes back in time.
Those are all things.
Does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm learning.
Yeah, the more you know.
Yep.
Anyway, PvP, of course, has been evolving quite a bit recently. We've been seeing players go after a lot longer games generally, expand builds, etc. But there's a good dose of aggression that can be used on this map, especially in these positions. Stargates are really, really powerful. You can get Phoenixes over to your opponent's base really quickly. Interesting to note, very late gas coming up from Mista, and he decides to double gas. So we've seen some players do this, and they'll drop 2 on each gas and still kind of build towards a Stalker build and eventually into an expand. But we'll see if that's what Mista decides to do. d.BlinG, though, things are looking a little more conventional. Yep,
d.BlinG is also the first one to send a scout out. He looks at the cross positions first, and then he's going to double back and check out the close air positions. And is it just me, or on the mini-map, it looks like the base that Mista is in is the only one with the dark tiles, and the rest are like a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Either way, d.BlinG is going to find out. He's going to look at his opponent's base and check out everything there is to see.
Are correct.
Yeah, that's weird. Interesting cosmetic choice there. Either way, Mista still does not know where d.BlinG is. He is going to actually lose 5 minerals, unfortunately for him, so he will not be able to afford his units as quickly as he could.
That's right. Devastating when you lose those 5 minerals, I have to say. d.BlinG, though, gets a perfect read on what his opponent is doing. He even saw the amount that was actually on gas. It is actually a full 3 workers on each geyser, so we'll see what Mista plans to do with all that built-up gas here in a second. A lot of players have been going for Stargate out of this, of course. It could just be Robotics Facility, eventually an expand. d.BlinG, though, has double gas himself, but hasn't really allocated towards any sort of tech quite yet.
All right, we'll see as he progresses what he's going to be dropping. Robotics Facility will be first up for d.BlinG. Back over at Mista's base, he still has not done anything beyond that Cybernetics core. Could still be doing any number of things. 2 more gateways being added on. Makes me think perhaps a Robotics Facility will show up after that. Neither player actually being brave enough to drop a Nexus early on in this match.
That's right. But like I said, you know, there's been a lot of flexibility, I guess is what I want to say, in PvP lately. It always used to be, oh, is he going to 4-gate? Is he not going to 4-gate? If he doesn't 4-gate, he's probably going to die. And that's how games kind of went for a while. But now there's so much variation. There's so many new things that have been thrown in recently that PvP has actually become a very exciting matchup, in my opinion. Yeah,
PvP is always fun for me. I like that it's a bit of a change of pace from longer TVT macro battles or something like that as far as mirrors. And ZVZ, of course, is still kind of crazy with Banelings being the way they are and Festers being the way they are. But Twilight Council coming up for Mista, it looks like he is actually going to go for some quicker blink, getting that Robotics Facility up quick to get the Observer out, possibly even the Warp Prism follow-up. But actually, d.BlinG still hasn't really shown a whole lot. After that Immortal comes out, we'll have to see if he's going to add on a Bay or continue churning out these Tier 1 units.
Okay, well, Mista just wants to put on pressure right now. Could warp in some units on the high ground here in the second one after that warp cooldown is done. d.BlinG's doing a nice job of getting units away, and as soon as he does that, brings in 2 sentries to continue to force field off his ramp for a while.
Yep, d.BlinG tried to keep his Stalkers alive. He's actually fleeing from the couple of Stalkers of Mista, trying to get them just as far away as he can. They do obviously have the same run speed, so that chase could continue potentially forever.
Yes.
But we'll see how good BlinG Stalker control is getting him past this other Stalker and Zealot combo. Yeah, this could actually be an interesting showdown here. The Immortal actually coming up here now, though. BlinG actually has the advantage, so he could actually pin this Stalker at least, if nothing else.
Yeah, well, he is going to get the Zealots, and the Zealot just kind of ran a ring around the rest of the units there. Didn't really do anything.
Very distracting,
I guess. Yeah. Expansions are out for both players now, though, and Mista just falling back to BlinG, where BlinG is falling. Thankfully, BlinG is not getting BlinG, because that would be ridiculous. He's going to try and put on some pressure, but he is moving into a robotics bay.
BlinG got BlinG. BlinG got BlinG last game.
Yes.
But Mista is going to be the one to do it this time. The Immortal actually making itself very valuable, blasting down these Stalkers. That probe might not actually get out of there either, but now a couple of warp-ins from Mista. Looks like he's going to be able to clean things up. Might not get the Immortal kill, though, as 2 more Stalkers show up for BlinG. He could actually be in trouble here at this natural. If this Sentry survives, it's got 1 more force field left in the tank as well.
All right, so Mista actually taking some pretty good pressure here. This pylon may even get shot down. Of course, BlinG does have a lot of excess pylons, so it's not going to affect the supply, but it is going to affect him warping in directly here on the low ground, and that does expose the Nexus. Nice shot by the probe. It hit the Immortal a couple times just to make sure that the hardened shields wouldn't remain, and oh, BlinG getting a little bit too close to the side there and loses the Immortal as a result.
Yep, that blink did come in handy for Mista right there. He actually didn't seem too concerned about the Nexus taking some fire either, because he knew that BlinG was finishing up. BlinG is just going to run away at this point, though. I mean, it's kind of a sunk cost. Even if you turn and fight, those shields are just going to regenerate, so BlinG knows he's got a slight chance to run all the way back to his reinforcements, and he does keep them alive, at least one of them, as Mista is now sort of in over his head, but obviously he has BlinG available to him and can actually get away from the Immortal there. Crazy
back and forth here. I kind of want to look at resources lost. Okay, so Mista's lost about 5 more units than his opponent, give or take, or 8 more units than his opponent, I'm sorry, but most of those were actually in... let's see here. The resources and the units lost almost don't add up. Part of that was the pylon as well. That makes more sense. So he did lose quite a bit more resources than his opponent. I thought he was just about to put down a Templar Archives. There he goes. It looks like he'll be switching into potentially Charge Light Archon to go up against Colossi from his opponent.
He did not like the position of the Archives. It actually had a silhouette near the probe line. And I guess he figured if units ever got into his probe line, he didn't want to make it an easy transition to kill his tech also, so he built it a little bit farther away. We do have BlinG making some Colossi now, so we'll see if Mista's BlinG strategy into Templar Archive is going to be able to help him out. He could actually get Charge and Archons as well, but BlinG still just kind of, you know, not really doing a whole lot on his side of the base, just building 1 Colossus at a time. Doesn't even look like he's really maxing out his warpins or anything. He is actually supply blocked as well.
Yes, he is. And driving down 2 supply depots, or not supply depots, I guess pylons is what they are at the same time. He knows that it's Templar Archives. He did click on it when he get the Observer floating overhead, and it actually gets canceled as soon as the Observer goes. So Mista knew that that was going by and switches things up and puts down a robotics facility right afterwards.
Nice move there. I actually thought he had a facility placed a while ago, but I guess he must have canceled it. I thought, you know, with BlinG, he was going to be able to get observers out and try to utilize that. But either way, the robotics facility is going to be done here soon. Charge is on the way as well. 50 probes for Mista, only 44 for BlinG. He's actually still trying to catch up. You can see 2 probes in the production tab for him. But extended thermal lance only about halfway done. I'm really curious if BlinG is just going to be trying to double up on Colossi soon or try to take another base, because at this point, both players are being pretty passive. This is kind of interesting. This gathering up here, Dark Shrine, Hidden Tech, now for Mista.
Weird, and a weird time to do it as well. I mean, obviously, BlinG will be able to produce observers pretty quickly, even though this one has just been flying around this base. Although, he's got to be wondering what Mista is up to. Mista, of course, has not put down, oh, man, I mean, no robotics bay. He's only got the 5 gateways for now, and he's going to blink in here. As soon as BlinG runs away, it's going to force a retreat, and he's going to kill a lot of workers here. Look at Select even throwing down the lull timing.
LOL timing, BlinG just barely out of his base by the time this blink comes in from Mista, and he actually has plenty of opportunity to get away with this also, because he can just run away and blink down onto that 3rd base location. He will lose a couple of Stalkers, but did some decent damage. Oh, and if he doesn't have vision up at the top, these Stalkers actually do have a lot less options. Now he could end up losing all of them.
Yeah, so he's lost quite a few of his units. He did some economic damage in return. Looks like he killed 12 workers, and that does put him up by a total of 18. But take that worker difference out. Look how many resources are available. He just wants to warp in a bunch of Dark Templar all at the same time. And he's proxying 3 more gateways.
If he gets enough DTs out,
and
though.
What? What are we watching?
He's doing what BlinG did last game. He's hiding a base, hiding tech. He's going to just make a huge wave of DTs, because if he's not ready for it, these things cut through buildings very, very fast. Obviously, he can just sack the entire probe line of BlinG if he gets in there before any detection. And actually, there's nothing here. He's going to destroy the robotics facility as quick as he can. Now it looks like we're in a little bit of a trade scenario, because BlinG is in Mista's base, hacking away at that probe line.
And Mista can actually already retreat to a new base that he's making. So are these more DTs? No, just stalkers that were coming in. But these very high DPS DTs are just cleaving through everything. This is a ridiculous PvP.
Yeah, this trade actually is looking pretty bad for BlinG, especially if these probes get caught. And with Blink, that is basically a certainty. He could just blink and kill that last probe. But if he's not able to go build a Nexus anywhere, then he will eventually get revealed. So we'll see if Mista is going to continue this assault. Those DTs with such high DPS. Mista not warping anything back in home. Instead, it looks like he does want to just keep that new secret base alive as long as he can. So we've got pylons starting to be scattered all over the place. Look at the money for Mista, 283 minerals. BlinG does have enough for a new Nexus. Wow, he actually let that robotics facility start to come in. He could have sacked it for some more minerals, but DTs are going to finish off everything in the base, and Mista really just needs to form up his army. BlinG, on the other hand, wow, he's not mining. Okay.
Yeah, he could here
he wants
in
to.
a second. There he goes.
There he goes.
All right.
Yeah, BlinG, on the other hand, he's got a pretty large standing army still. The only problem is if that observer goes away, he's basically just forfeit. He can't win.
Okay, well, I mean, the DTs are still doing so much damage, and BlinG needs to put down another Nexus, as you mentioned. He is still actually taking in gas, which is a little amusing to me, but the rest of the pylons are going to go down here in a second, because he could just straight out lose his structures. He still has 1 observer. I'm not sure where it's at, but it is available. Oh, and he's going to make his way up here and see all these gateways. Okay, so the Warp Prism has a probe inside. He is actually... Oh, there's no islands on this version of Metropolis. No.
Okay, so can't do that. And actually, the Warp Prism is going to get taken out. Does he have any probes still standing on the units? Let's just keep units up at this point.
Yeah, that's good. It's not like anything is going to get produced.
Yep, two probes there for BlinG still remaining somewhere on the map, but Mista still with quite a lot of DTs roaming around. It looks like there is 1 observer still for BlinG, but if Mista's in the right place at the right time, he could actually be able to take it out. This Nexus is done for. BlinG actually, I'm not sure, his observer has to be nearby to send his whole army back like that.
So. Oh, look, DTs are actually just wrecking this force up at the front. He has no available supply whatsoever. 2 probes are alive.
Nope.
Now 1.
Well,
wait, kill it! Kill it! Kill that! Kill that right there!
He didn't... What? Did he think that was his own?
I have no idea. Why would you ever...
Spare him his life from this
Why did the DTs run away from this?
I don't know.
And now he's just building...
Maybe the Mista has decided to take a life of pacifism after destroying most of BlinG's chances of winning this game.
Mista has done so many weird things after this, though. There's actually only 3 structures alive, so Mista only has to kill these, and the game is actually over.
Yeah, the observer has to be with this army, right? But it's not. Where is that observer?
I don't know. There it is. It is. It is. It's right there.
There it is, overhead. So the DT is going to get taken out. Those are just very, very few structures remaining. This is the probe, actually.
Yeah.
Here for BlinG, that's the last remaining probe on the map for him. He does have 450 minerals, so Mista actually content to just mine away. He just needs to get pylons rebuilt, honestly, and he can actually start using those gateways that are still standing.
What are these doing?
I don't understand. I have no idea.
Mista, this doesn't make any sense.
Well, maybe, okay, so he thinks BlinG's army is too big for him to deal with.
Well, of course.
So he's going to send some probes away to be able to build more Nexuses, just keep himself alive a little bit longer while he hunts down those last remaining buildings. It does make sense to send some away, just so they're not all in one place.
No observer here, or yes there is, because they did take a couple of hits, but I don't see where it's at. It must be a little ways away. But the Colossi are now actually going down, and that's devastating. That opens up the DTs to move through and kill the last couple of warp gates, as Mista's actually losing this. And there's GG, well played.
The probe was killed. The last probe of BlinG was killed.
Yes, it was.
So he had absolutely no chance of rebuilding anything. That was just a kind of ridiculous end to what seemed like a more or less normal PvP to start. The DTs just basically threw a wrench into the whole thing, and things just went crazy after that. Really bizarre game, but the Mista does take the win. That's going to put Empire up at a 4-2 score.
Yeah.
And Dignitas is running a little low on options, honestly.
They're down to their last player, as a matter of fact, and that last player is going to be Select, of course.
Okay. All right. You say, of course, like it's a certainty. I guess it is.
Of course.
Yeah, he's
Select,
do
man.
Do they only have 5 players?
Select is awesome.
If they only have 5 players, then it's a certainty.
Well, regardless
anyway.
if they do or not, it's Select, man. You can't not pick him.
Okay, Select is pretty good. He had a 2nd place MLG finish a long time ago. And, you know, has constantly
did qualify for IPL 5 just recently.
Oh,
so,
that's true.
yeah.
Yep. Actually, in our most recent qualifier, Gosu User and Select both qualified, so they'll be going to IPL 5. Yeah, but Select, it's kind of weird because he's been in the discussion for top North American players for so long, but he is actually Korean. And,
well, of course.
you know, sometimes he would show up with the Korean flag, sometimes he'd show up with the U.S. flag. Either way, he's still really good. So we'll see. As long as he just never goes to Europe, I think he'll be all right. So we
playing for a European team.
Yeah, he is playing for that European team Dignitas that's based in Britain. So sure, why not?
Okay.
Select versus Mista coming up for Game 7.
Yeah, we're going to take a commercial break, though. When we get back, we'll jump into set game number 7.